Welcome to the first of what I hope to be a series of episodes related to understanding economic life in the Bahamas. The effects of this COVID-19 pandemic leaves many of us wondering, how will our nation recover economically? So I've created this video for us, Bahamians, as well as those who love the Bahamas. I honestly believe that in order to create lasting change for our economy, it is important to first understand where and what the hindrances are that prevents economic development in the first place. Only when we fully educate ourselves on Bahamian culture will we gain an appreciation of the mindsets, practices, and behaviors of Bahamians that contradict our efforts towards economic progress. There are many things about Bahamians that we ourselves complain about that we don't like. The first complaint I often hear is the preferential treatment to foreigners in contrast to the way we treat our fellow Bahamians. And this complaint extends beyond skin color, as the foreigner here is understood as a non-citizen who enters the country with the goal of spending money. In the 1930s, the Bahamas government secured permission from Britain to open a casino on the grounds that only visitors would be allowed to enter. More recently, within the justice system, 3 American tourists got off on a charge that many Bahamians lamented would have never happened to one of them. This is Bahamian life, a preference for the foreigners. But why does it exist? I submit this to you, that this is a remnant of colonialism. By its very definition, colonialism is the foreign control, occupation, and exploitation of a land and people. While I do not dispute that advances have been made in our tourism industry and our financial services sector, it is important to note that aspects of our Bahamian culture that contribute to a delay in economic development can be traced to our colonial heritage. Another complaint I often hear Bahamians make about ourselves is that we are too diplomatic and our diplomacy makes us passive and therefore stops us from making those hardcore decisions we need to move our country forward. To that, I submit this. In his diary, Christopher Columbus labeled the Lucayan Arawaks as a docile and simple-minded people who would make good servants. However, I believe that is unfair, because his diary also noted that at some point he realized that the Lucayan Arawaks were making fun of him, and he eventually left from his first journey without him. In fact, it was not Christopher Columbus who spotted the Arawaks, but while he was still out to sea, the Lucayan Arawaks swam up to him and immediately began trading their goods for his. Now, why do I tell you that story? We need to emancipate ourselves mentally, Bahamians. Let us find the truth of our culture, of our heritage. The Lucayan Arawaks were skilled traders, skilled in navigating the seas and engaging with people internationally and regionally. And they did this to their advantage. There is power in our diplomacy. There is power in our hospitality. And we must not allow it to be exploited or taken advantage of. I speak to you, my fellow Bahamians, to you who love the Bahamas. In order for us to have real and lasting economic development and change and progress in our country, we need to free our minds.